Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of Visiting with the Community, where we're featuring the people and places of Dolan Springs, Arizona. Today, we're with Mary and Dan Dowdy with Street Rods by Dowdy. Dan and Mary, it's good to talk with you today. And tell us a little bit about what you do here.
Now, we kind of got a variety of things we do. Mainly, we do custom embroidery. We do a spectrochrome, which is a chrome process, and we can tint just about or chrome almost anything. And then we build hot rods, street rods, customs, classics, restorations, kind of whatever a person wants. We also go so far as to restore old gas pumps and memorabilia like that, just for giggles and grins, and people like to see it in their garages with their hot rods after we build them. Mm-hmm. We build the cars kind of from the ground up or whatever a person wants. There's some cases where you're building your hot rod and there's just a step that you can't do, you just can't get over that hump, so we can help you out and get that part where you can continue on. Mm-hmm. Or like I say, we do the whole spectrum. The only thing we don't do is the upholstery, and with that we hook you up to good upholsterers, good qualified, and does nice work for you.
Mm-hmm. Just talk with you a little, Mary. Now you do Desert Concepts.
Yes, with that I do custom embroidery, and I do a lot of car designs and stitch that out for the customers and that. And I take the street rods and put them onto shirts and jackets. Plus I do a lot of logos for commercial businesses and do sweatshirts, t-shirts, you name it. I've gone as far as I even do quilting on some of the quilts that people have done. It's just a fun spectrum of being able to express myself and helping others, bring their dreams to life in stitches is what I think of it. And it corresponds and complements, I think, the street rod side of the business.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at a few of those. I'm sure the viewers will too. We'll take a look at some of that work, and sounds good. Hey, tell us a little bit about this one, Dan, right behind us here. This is a beautiful vehicle.
Yeah, this is a 34 Ford truck, belongs to Tim and Donna Callahan out of Henderson, Nevada. Tim's dad used to be the governor of Nevada, Michael Callahan. And this truck here belonged to Paul Johnson of Meadview, which is Donna's dad. And this was his first vehicle as a young man. His mom bought it for him when he was 18 years old. And we kind of resto-rotted it back. It's all steel. It's got a 350 Chevy motor with a 704 transmission. And Tim and Donna really stepped up and did a super job with the components they bought for it. It's got a polished aluminum, stainless Jaguar-styled rear end in it, and such as that. And they put some quality thought into the truck, and as far as how they wanted it. And I always say that the car is kind of a reflection of the owner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a theme involved here.
Yeah, this one here, with a lot of the cars we'll come up with kind of an idea behind them, and this one here is they come up with "Not Your Daddy's Ride," and on the back of the truck, Donna named the thing "Nut and Honey."
I saw that.
And it was kind of funny when we first took the truck to the first show down at Rodman River. She was talking about putting some hunter green pinstripes on it. God, that just ain't gonna get it. But it really, really looks good. It has a very Mercedes look and flavor to it. Mm-hmm. And Donna was one. It was a lot of fun working with them on it, because like when we were trying to figure out the interior and that, Donna took it. She's a graphics designer, so she had big paper hanging down the hallway of the house. She had gone in and kind of traced out the internal lines of the cab, and here she is drawing on it and this and that. And then I told her, I said, well, you need to pick out what wheels you want, and then what steering wheel. And it was a real kick in the pants, because she'd take a picture of the truck, and then she'd put the wheel on it to look at it and stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun getting the owners, the wives also involved in it instead of just the guys. You got to have the wives, because it's a family deal.
Yeah. And I imagine, now how long did this project take?
This project here, that was already started when Tim and Donna brought it to us. I think we put about a year into it.
It was about 2 years.
Was it?
Yeah, it was about 2 years before it was done.
So that's a big commitment. I mean, that's a
It
good
is.
time.
Yeah, I tell my customers you can figure usually a year to year and a half, depending on what they want to do in their budget. That's the big thing right there. I mean, we can do what I call a hammer down. Just if a guy's just got the cash, just to roll into them. But you get a lot of money in them real quick. I mean, about you can go. I mean, the sky's the limit on the price of these. I mean, you can get $250,000 in a car real quick.
But we have a lot of cars that we've done for people locally that, $40,000, $50,000 gets them a nice car rolling down the road. And we take a lot of pride in when we finish them up that they're probably nicer than 90% of the cars out there. So they have a lot of pride in their vehicles and in driving them.
Just looking at it, I mean, it's the finest detail, right down to the whole vehicle, engine, everything. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, we even go so far as like if you'll notice at the edge of the fenders and that where the beading is. A lot of times we can't get the color of, they call it fender welting, that we want. So Mary will take and stitch it up so we get the color we want. We couldn't get the shade of white we wanted on this and in the right diameter. So Mary she does it herself, and it makes it kind of nice because over the years with us, between having our automotive shop we had for 20 years and then the drag racing and the car show and that, and then Mary and I were both judges for inside car shows also. So we were able to kind of pull all of our stuff together and make things really come around. When we get down to getting close on a car, something like that, we'll have Mary will go through and she'll really help me pick it. Just little detail stuff. Just try to really pin it because a lot of times I'll get going on them and I almost get a tunnel vision. That's where a lot of times we'll have a couple cars going at one time.
That's it. Yeah. Well, hey, how did you get started doing this? Did you do it as a kid and just eventually work into it? What's the story on that?
Yeah, pretty much. When I was in the Air Force, I worked on jets, and then I got out of that and just started kind of tinkering around with the 63 Fairlane that Mary and I had. And then I kind of went from there, and then we got into the drag racing deal and enjoyed that. And from then, as far as the hot rods, Mary's folks gave us a 42 Ford business coupe.
My goodness.
That her dad had hauled in back in 1957. They have currently a Texaco station just out of Denver, Colorado, that's been in business since 1921 with Texaco, and we still have currently the original. Oh golly, the gas pump, the sign, the wrecker. I mean, just the Coke machine, the cash register, and all that. We've got our facility set up kind of like an old-time gas station. But we kind of got started with that, and then just kind of rolled from there. We built the 42 just for ourselves, and then we did a little competition with car shows, and everybody really got jazzed. And then from there we just started building for other people. And now we're doing stuff. We've got cars in Sweden, Australia, just all over the United States. We do. We did a 50 Suburban for Trucking Magazine. But we've got we do it out of love.
Yeah.
Do it out of love. We don't do any advertising, just word of mouth type stuff.
Well, now, do you fabricate some of your own parts? I imagine that with being the older vehicles, probably some parts would be hard to get. Is that a concern with you, or do you lay them, or how does that work?
A lot of the parts we can buy, but some of the parts that we do buy, we just don't like the way they fit, or the accessibility and stuff like that. So we some of the stuff we've designed and we have on the market for sale to other businesses, vendors, whatever. There, like I said, there's just some of the stuff that just doesn't fit properly, doesn't work properly, and then there's some of the stuff that I've designed that nobody else has. And we've got some of the vendors that's come to us. There's like grills for some of the like a 40, 41 Chevy truck. Nobody makes a billet grill for it. We do. There's quite a few just little odds and ends that we make. There's stuff that my machinist buddy of mine, Lyle Bentley in Boise, we designed a spark plug wire separator back in '88 when we first started car showing. And I told Lyle, I said, we need to design this and to where will fit other cars.
And then market it.
and then market it.
And he didn't want to do that.
And Lyle says, oh, it'll never go anywhere. Well, it did. I mean, they're selling them worldwide right now, but the only thing of it is, we've redesigned it to where the ones that they have out there they're a little hard on plug wires, and we've got to redesign to where it's not. But it is fun doing, like I say, we show our product to people. There's some things, people can look at some of the cars I've built and they know that it has my signature, just little things that we do that nobody else does.